Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty profound, actually. We've got this stack of sources ranging from ancient esoteric stuff to, well, very traditional religious texts.
Right, quite a mix.
And they all seem to point to this one powerful idea: finding real peace, real clarity. It's all about the present moment. We're diving into the power of now.
It's fascinating how consistent they are.
Isn't it? These sources, like teachings from the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood alongside, the Bible, they argue the present is the key, like the absolute key to enlightenment, freedom, getting to your soul's highest potential.
hmm
So our mission today is to give you the philosophy, sure, but also maybe the structure these traditions use to actually live that truth. The main idea to hold on to. The present isn't just time ticking by. They call it a gateway.
Or a portal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To higher consciousness.
And what's really striking, as you said, is how these different paths meet. We're looking at wisdom from, say, Grandmaster Wakira of this Atlantean group, and then verses from the Bible.
And they land in the same place.
The exact same place, really, about needing to be present. It suggests there's some kind of universal truth there, just, different words for it.
Okay, so before we get into the how-to, let's nail down that connection. Where do scripture and the esoteric stuff agree on, like getting beyond just thinking in straight lines of time?
Well, a really familiar place to start is Matthew 6.34. It's incredibly direct. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself.
Right.
Each day has enough trouble of its own.
I mean, that's basically a command, isn't it? Stop throwing your energy into future anxieties. Focus everything on today.
On this day, yeah. And how does the esoteric side put it?
The Atlantean view, or Waxira's statement, is maybe even more absolute. He says, everything exists in the eternal now.
The eternal now.
To seek truth in time is to remain bound by illusion.
Yeah.
So if you compare them, one calls it worry, the other illusion, but both are saying chasing truth or safety outside this moment. It's pointless.
Futile. Oh,
The common ground is rejecting the past or future as the place where reality truly resides. It sounds amazing, but, okay, here's the rub, right? If the present is the only real thing, why are our minds almost never there? The sources say the big block is just the mind's noise, always churning, regretting yesterday, planning or fearing tomorrow. It just doesn't stop.
And that churn is exactly what blocks peace. We tend to think of awakening as, some future event, like a destination.
Yeah, like you arrive somewhere.
Yeah, but these teachings say no. Awakening happens when you realize the now is all there is. The path needs stillness, and not just as a nice idea, but as an active thing you do.
An intentional state.
Exactly, to reconnect with that truth inside you.
Okay, but let's tackle a practical point. Many listening are busy, they have deadlines, goals. If you say drop all future worry, doesn't that sound irresponsible? How do you plan for a big project? Or your finances?
That's a really important distinction to make. It's about planning versus worrying.
Oh.
The teachings aren't saying be passive or, just ignore reality. Not at all. They're saying bring your full energy to the task now. You make the plan now, you decide now.
Right.
Worrying is like mental time travel that just drains your energy from the present. And honestly, it doesn't usually improve the future outcome anyway.
It just makes you feel awful now.
Precisely. So, stillness, in this context, means being able to choose where your focus is, even when you're dealing with complex stuff.
Okay, so it's not mental laziness. It's intense focus on the moment of action. If that's the goal, how do you structure that? It feels so abstract. And this is where that Atlantean framework, the SAB, gets interesting.
It really does. The SAB, from what we've gathered, claims this ancient lineage, and they actually formalize this path. They talk about 9 degrees of awakening.
9 degrees. Wow.
Yeah, and they use these things called spiritual tools. Since being present can feel so vague, these tools are like metaphors, a map for navigating what they call the ocean of consciousness.
Okay, let's break that down. We're focusing today on just the first 3 degrees, the ones under the initiate title.
That's right, the foundational ones, before you get into perhaps the more complex ritualistic stuff later on.
So tool number 1, the foundation.
That's the ocean, degree 1. It's the big metaphor for the divine consciousness itself, boundless.
Like the eternal now we talked about.
Exactly. It's vast, it's deep, it covers everything, just like the present moment in their view contains everything. Infinite depth.
So thinking of reality as an ocean, what does that do for you practically?
Well, if you really grasp that you're in this infinite ocean, this boundless now, it starts to dissolve that feeling of being small or limited.
Okay.
So when you hit a problem, a deadline, relationship stress, money worries, whatever you're encouraged to remember you're in the ocean, infinite possibilities exist there, not just the one scary outcome your mind is fixated on.
It changes the container for the problem.
Right. You're living from that infinite depth where the sense of separation starts to break down.
Okay, so the ocean is the now. Then tool number 2, the wave. That must be about our personal experience within that ocean.
Spot on. If the ocean is the total divine reality, the wave is how our own thoughts, our actions, create a sort of temporary localized shape on the surface of that reality.
Ah.
This degree is about learning. You're not just tossed around on the currents of your mind. You can learn to actually direct them.
So this is where managing the mind chatter comes in. But are you trying to, stop thinking altogether? That seems impossible.
No, it's not about suppression. It's more like redirection,
Yeah.
control.
Okay.
The aim is to get wave your thoughts, feelings, immediate experience, moving with the ocean, with the divine flow of the present, instead of just stirring up a personal storm.
Yeah.
You can't stop the water moving, but you learned to steer the vessel on the water.
Active presence.
Yes, mastering the mind so it serves the now, rather than constantly dragging you into past regrets or future fantasies.
Which leads perfectly to the third tool, the ship. I'm guessing this brings it all back down to earth, to the physical.
Absolutely. The ship is us, our physical body. It's the vessel we use to navigate our wave within the vast ocean.
Okay.
And the teaching here stresses you have to align the body through breath, posture, conscious action. Get it in sync with that divine flow. You get the ocean and wave concepts intellectually, sure, but if your body is constantly tense, jumpy, habitually distracted.
Then you're not really navigating, you're just being tossed around.
Exactly. You can't truly embody presence if the ship isn't seaworthy, so to speak.
So ocean, wave, ship. Recognize the infinite reality, manage the mental flow, align the physical body. And these aren't just ideas, they're meant to be practiced through, conscious living, meditation, specific teachings.
And this structured practice, it leads to what they consider their core sacred knowledge. Central to all this is the Book of Remembrance.
The Book of Remembrance, tell us about that.
We should probably pause here. It's described as more than just, say, prophecies. It's positioned as this ancient text mapping out spiritual awakening, a comprehensive guide for people working through these degrees.
So what's its fundamental message about existence? The one that being present helps you unlock.
The core teaching is really centered on unity, oneness.
Okay.
It basically says, look, you're not separate from the divine. You're not just an individual in the universe. You're intrinsically part of this greater unbroken whole, one with everything eternally.
And being present unlocks that understanding because it removes the illusion of time separating things. Is that the idea?
That's precisely it.
Yeah.
If you're stuck thinking linearly past, present, future, the idea of oneness is just, well, it's a nice thought, but you can't really feel it.
Right, it's intellectual.
But when you're fully in the now, the Book of Remembrance teaches all that is, was, and ever will be exists in the eternal present. In that moment of deep presence, past and future, just dissolve. And you realize, oh, I'm connected to this infinite ocean.
That realization changes the journey itself, doesn't it? They call it a spiral journey.
Yes, they emphasize it's not linear, not like climbing a ladder or ticking off boxes.
Okay.
It's more like deepening, expanding. You keep coming back to the center point, the now, but each time, hopefully, with a bit more understanding.
Like a richer experience of it.
Exactly. And that really ties it all together. There's another quote from Waxira that sums it up. To align with the now is to align with the divine.
Simple as that.
The present moment is the key that unlocks the door to infinite wisdom and spiritual mastery. All the complexity kind of falls away, and you're left with just this one immediate point of focus.
Which brings us to the takeaway for listening. We've looked at scripture, we've looked at esoteric wisdom, and the message is surprisingly, strikingly singular. True enlightenment isn't some far-off goal you have to strain for. It's right here. It's realizing that everything you're looking for, peace, freedom, that wisdom, that sense of connection, it's already available. You just have to shift your focus to now.
It's an immediate access point.
Yeah. The sources tell us that every breath, every thought you consciously release, every action you take in the present, it brings you closer to your highest self, if you do it consciously.
So if that Book of Remembrance is right, if all wisdom is in the eternal present, then the final thought, maybe the challenge for you, is this. What heavy burden of suffering or fear, or maybe just confusion are you carrying right now, simply because you're refusing to fully acknowledge the perfection and the potential that's already in this moment you're living?
Hmm.
Think about it. What specific intentional practice, maybe just aligning your ship for a moment, or redirecting one wave of thought could you do right now, just to start recognizing the infinite depth of that ocean you're already swimming in, that you carry inside you?
That's the journey.
That's the journey, and it starts the instant you choose it.